In this video, I will show you how to create your first JavaFX project using Eclipse. So first of all, we need to download the JavaFX SDK. So let's type JavaFX. Now let's go to this first link. Here we need to scroll down, and here we have the download section. So let's click on this download button. In this page we have to scroll down, and we can see that the latest version is 17. So we need to download the SDK for Windows. So this is Windows, and this is the SDK for Windows 64-bit systems. So let's click on this download button. So here we can save this zip file, but I have already downloaded it, so I will cancel this download, and also I will close this page. So in the previous page I have to scroll down, and here we have Scene Builder. So Scene Builder allows us to create user interfaces using drag and drop. So we need it. That's why we will click on this download link. Now in this page we have to click on this download button, and then we need to download the installer for Windows. So let's click on this download button. Now we need to save this installer, but in my case I have already downloaded it, so I will cancel this download and I will close this page. Now let's scroll down, and here we have the documentation. So let's go to this first link, getting started with JavaFX. In this page we have the documentation, how we can configure Eclipse to create JavaFX projects. So let's click on this link, and let's minimize the browser. Now these are the two files that I have already downloaded, so let's extract this zip file. So I will extract the JavaFX SDK on the C drive into a folder called Java. Also we need to install Scene Builder. In this window we have just to click Next. Then we have to accept the license, then let's click Next. So we can accept this path, but it is very long, so I will remove this part from the path. And let's click Next. And now let's click Install. Now Scene Builder has been installed correctly, so let's click on this Finish button to close this window. Now let's go to Eclipse. So here, first of all, we need to install the JavaFX plugin. So let's go to Help, and let's click on Eclipse Marketplace. In this window, we have just to type FX in this field, and let's hit Enter. So this is the JavaFX plugin that we need to install. Let's click on this Install button. In this window I have just to accept the license, and then let's click Finish. Now the plugin is being installed, so we need to wait till the end of the installation. Now the plugin is installed correctly, so we need to restart Eclipse. That's why we need to click on this button, Restart Now. So now let's close this welcome page, and we need to configure the JavaFX plugin. So let's go to Window, then Preferences, and in this window we have to select JavaFX. So we need to provide the path of Scene Builder. So let's click on this Browse button. So Scene Builder is installed in the folder of the user of this computer into a folder called Scene Builder. So we have just to open this folder and to select scenebuilder.exe. Also we need to provide the path of the JavaFX SDK that we have downloaded. So let's click on Browse. So I extracted the JavaFX SDK on the C drive into a folder called Java into JavaFX SDK 17. Then I have to select the lib folder. Now let's click on Select Folder. And now let's click on Apply and Close. Now let's create a new JavaFX project. So let's go to File, then New, then Other. And here we have JavaFX, so let's expand it, and let's select JavaFX project. Now let's click on Next, and in this window I have to provide the project name. So I will call it first JavaFX project. Now let's click on Finish. Now this project is created, and by default it contains a Java class called main.java. It also contains this module that we need to delete, otherwise we will obtain some errors later, so let's delete it now. And in this class I have just to add a statement that allows us to display the title of this window. So let's do this. Now let's save this class, and to run it, it is necessary to copy a command from the documentation website. So let's go to the navigator, and here we need to find VM arguments. So this is VM arguments. We have to click on Windows and to copy this command. Now here I have to click on this button. It is next to the Run button, so let's click on it and the Run configuration. In this window I need to create a new configuration, so let's make a right click on Java application, then new configuration, and here in the arguments I have to paste the command that I have copied. Now I need to correct this path, so let's remove it, and let's go to the folder where I installed the JavaFX SDK. It is on the C drive, into Java, then JavaFX SDK 17, and then I have to open the lib folder. Now let's copy this path and let's paste it here. Now let's click on apply, then we can close this window. Now to run this application I have to click on this Run button, and this is the obtained window. So let's close it and let's create a new fxml file. To do this I have just to select this package, then File, then New, then Other, and here I have to select New fxml document. Then let's click Next, and for the name I will call it Main Scene. Let's click on Finish, and I want to complete this fxml file using Scene Builder. So let's make a right click on it, then open with Scene Builder. So by default this fxml file contains this anchor pan which is not visible, so let's delete it and let's add a new anchor pan. Now let's modify the dimension of this interface and let's add a label. So the label is under controls, so let's drag and drop it. Also I will modify the width, and for the text I have just to go to properties and to modify the text property. So let's type title. Now let's add a text field. So this is the text field. Let's drag and drop it. Let's increase the width. Also I want to read the text of this text field from the Java code. That's why I need to provide this text field with an ID. So let's go to code, and for the ID I will call it TF for text field title. Let's hit enter, and now let's add a button. So to modify the text I have to go to properties, and here let's type OK. Now let's add a listener, so I have to select the button, then let's go to code. So here in the onAction I have to provide the name of the function that will be executed when we click on the OK button. So I will call it btn OK click it. Let's hit enter, and now let's save the file. So let's go to File, then Save. Now let's go to Eclipse, and here this file has been modified. Now we need to create the controller. To do this we have to make a right click, then Source, then Generate Controller. So here I will accept this name for the controller. It is Main Scene Controller. So let's click on OK. Now let's go to the controller, and here this method will be executed when we click on the OK button. So what I want to do here is to read the text of the text field and to display it as the title of the window. So let's do this. So this statement allows us to obtain the current window, and this allows us to read the text of the text field, and finally this allows us to set the title of the window. But we have some errors, so to fix them we have to click on this icon, then import stage. Now the errors disappeared, so let's save this controller, And also we need to associate this controller to the fxml file. So let's copy the name of this controller and let's go to scene builder. So here under controller, we need to provide the name of the controller. So the controller belongs to the application package. So let's type application dot the name of the controller. Let's hit enter and let's save the file again. Now let's go to Eclipse and let's go to main.java. So here I will replace these statements with the statements that allows us to create the interface using the fxml file. But here we have some errors, so let's click on this icon and let's add the imports. Now let's save this file and let's run it. And this is the obtained window. So let's type some text here and let's click on OK. And this is the new title. Finally, thank you very much for watching and please subscribe to the channel.